Hi there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Game Week 5 preview. I'm going to run you through the fixtures, the form guide and the FPL players you should play or bench. So stay with me and hopefully I help you make them decisive decisions. Let's go. So the first fixture to kick off game week 5 is Wolverhampton versus Liverpool FC. This is the early kickoff. Liverpool come into this with 3 wins and 1 loss. Wolverhampton come into this with 3 losses and 1 win. In the last 11 Premier League fixtures, Liverpool have only lost once to Wolverhampton, so the stats are on their side. One interesting one to note is Liverpool didn't win one early kickoff last season. Yeah, you heard that correct. Let's talk FPL. Any Liverpool players you've got, you play them in this fixture. It's a perfect matchup. I expect Liverpool to win. So it's a shame Trent, I think, wasn't seen at training today. So I'm not sure if he's going to be fit for this weekend. Expect Gomez to be right back if that's the case. Who else was there? Darwin Núñez picked up an injury for Uruguay, so he wasn't at training as well. Not sure he's going to be fit, but I expect Salah, more than likely Jota and Diaz to line up as the front three. I mean, Gakpo could come in, but regardless, any of your Liverpool assets, you 100% play them in this fixture. Wolves, I don't think you should own any of their players in FPL. I'm just being real with you. Next fixture is Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. Aston Villa have started the season with 2 losses, 2 wins. Crystal Palace, 2 wins, a draw and a loss. Last 4 Premier League games between these two, Aston Villa's won 2 and it's been a draw and a loss. The last 7 Premier League games when Aston Villa's been at home to Crystal Palace, they've only lost once. So that's a good omen there. FPL wise, let's start with Crystal Palace. If you got Eze, you start him. I know he's been frustrating. He's only had 1 return this season, but he's been playing really well. Everything goes through him and deserved his England call-up the other day. If you've got the Palace goalkeeper Johnston, you should be a little bit concerned. Henderson's been purchased. We don't know what's going on there. If you're really desperate, you start him. The reason I say that, if he doesn't start, your sub goalkeeper should come on, because very rarely goalkeepers make substitutions, so you should be fine there. Let's talk about Aston Villa assets. Diaby, he's had 2 returns so far, started the season really well. If you own him, I'd play him. It's not a problem at all. The 2 fullbacks, Cash, he's obviously had that haul the other game. Then after that, he played Liverpool, didn't really get nothing. But if you've got him, you can easily start him in this fixture, as well as if you own the ultimate FPL troll, Dini, you can start him as well. Watkins, loads are getting frustrated. He's returning 3 games, but not hauls. He's getting little assists here and there. It's a tricky one. Do you move him on, but who do you go to? I would say keep him, play him. The fixtures are still good, unless you can upgrade to, if you think Alvarez is starting, do that move there. I don't think you'd go sideways to Jackson, having seen how Jackson's been recently. But yeah, if you've got him and you're not moving him on, definitely play him. Simple as that. Fulham versus Luton. Fulham have started the season with 2 losses, 1 win, 1 draw. Luton have played 3 games, unfortunately lost all 3. They haven't played in the Premier League, but the last time they played each other in the Championship, Fulham gave them a good beating, 7-0. Not looking good for Luton, is it? FPL asset-wise, if you've got Kabore, like a lot of us have for bench fodder, didn't start the last game, which wasn't good. We're not sure if he's going to start this game. Most of us are not fussed for this game week, but we really want to know if he's going to be ready for the double game week. That would be quite good to have him there. If you've got Morris, he started the season well. You play him this game, I think. Yeah, you go for it. He's already got a goal and an assist. It's a decent fixture for him. Unless you've got, of course, superior other players. He could be your first sub. But definitely, I think he could get something this game. Fulham-wise, if you've got Leno, some might have gone there. Start him. I mean, it's against Luton. I don't think there's any other assets in this game. The next fixture is Manchester United versus Brighton. Manchester United have started the season with 2 wins, 2 losses. Brighton have started the season really well with 3 wins and 1 loss. The last 3 games they've played, Brighton have won all of them in the Premier League. FPL asset-wise, I don't see a clean sheet here. So basically, this fixture favours the attackers. If you have Bruno and Rashford, you 100% play them. They're going to be a constant threat. As Brighton are such an attacking team, they're going to leave space in behind. And Manchester United, if they're on their game, will pluck them off. So if you have them, you play them. Simple as that. Likewise with Brighton. Either whether it's Ferguson, even if you've got Welbeck, which I doubt, a lot have got Matoma, Estupinan. I've got no issue playing him against United. Yes, I said to you, United's going to score. I can see Estupinan getting an assist. Not a problem at all. He's so attacking. Don't think just because they're playing Manchester United, they're going to change their game. Brighton don't play like that. So both attacking players, you play them. I don't think many of us have got Manchester United defensive assets. Some might have Onana. It's not an ideal game. If you've got another goalkeeper, I would actually play that because I definitely fancy Brighton getting at least one goal. I know Manchester United are at home and they've got a decent record at home. I'm still confident in Brighton here. Next fixture is Spurs versus Sheffield United. Spurs have started the season really well. 3 wins, 1 draw. Sheffield United, unfortunately, 3 losses and 1 draw. So not a great start for them. The last 2 games they've played each other in the Premier League, Spurs have won both. I think the scores have been 4-0 and 3-1. FPL asset-wise, Son, Maddison, Udegi. If you have them, you play them. It's as simple as that. In fact, it goes on to the next stage. Is whether do you captain Son or Maddison. This is a game week where you potentially could go against the Terminator, who's got an inferior, tricky fixture versus West Ham. But dare I say, that's at your own risk. But this is one of the few game weeks in the season where fixtures align and you possibly could go against him. Son bagged a hat-trick last game week. Obviously, the big talking point is, does he start up front versus Sheffield United and how would he cope against playing against a deeper block? I don't think that makes a difference. Elite player, superior team, everything's in his favour. If he starts in that position, I expect him to get at least 1 goal. I'll be keeping an eye and I'll be updating you because I'm going to be at this game live. So let's see how he gets on. Sheffield United-wise, really Archer is the only asset you might have. If you can avoid starting him in this game, I would. Having said that, he's a decent bench fodder for him to be your first or second sub. A really interesting fixture next, West Ham versus Manchester City. Manchester City have started the season with 4 wins. Surprise, surprise. West Ham have started really well. 1 draw and 3 wins. What I will say though, in the last 16 Premier League fixtures between these two, West Ham have only won 1. Not that good, is it? FPL asset-wise, it goes without saying, Manchester City, you play their players against any team. Doesn't matter. In fact, Haaland's going to be the most captained, and I can see why. So, yeah, simple as that. You have City players, they're premium players, you play them. Yes, West Ham have started well. Doesn't matter. Play them. West Ham-wise, the attackers should get some joy. We know City are a formidable team. They'll pin you in your half. But in the counter-attack, and Moyes will be more than ready for this. Bowen and Antonio will be waiting in them positions when they just spring against the defender who's maybe hasn't got the pace and they isolate them 1v1. They could get something. If you have them and you don't have better subs, play them. Simple as that. West Ham, a lot of us have Areola. It's not a great game. You could get save points. I expect them to be pinned in their half for the majority of this game. It's not a great fixture. If you've got another goalkeeper, go there. And the last fixture on Saturday, it's Newcastle versus Brentford. Newcastle have had a tricky start, 3 losses, 1 win. Brentford have had 3 draws and 1 win. In the last 4 fixtures they've played each other, Newcastle have won 3 and drawn 1. So no wins for Brentford there. FPL asset-wise, Newcastle's a team, we don't have many assets, but we're looking at them. Their fixtures are about to turn, but if you've gone early and you got Trippier, of course, you're going to have to play him in this game. Some might have Isaac. He's a problem with potential rotation and minutes because of Wilson. And, you know, they've got a couple of other attackers there, but I would still start him if you own him as well. For Brentford, the ultimate one is Mbeumo, 100% start him. He seems like one of them players that's going to just deliver, whether it's an assist or a goal, sneak a penalty here and there, he's going to deliver. Okay, so I would be scared to sub him. I mean, you'll have to have some team if you're benching him, but fair play for me, play him. If you've got Wissa and you've got an alternative sub or a player on your bench that's got a better fixture, I would. I think Newcastle are strong enough defensively to keep him out. And what's the last asset from Brentford is Flecken. Not the ultimate fixture if you've got another keeper, but if you don't, of course, you start him. The next fixture is a spicy fixture. It's Bournemouth versus Chelsea. And why do I say that? Well, Chelsea have had a difficult start to the season with 2 losses, 1 win, 1 draw. Bournemouth have had 2 wins, 2 draws. The last 5 games they've played each other in the Premier League is even Stevens. Basically 2 wins each and 1 draw. So it's an interesting game. expecting it to be a tight game too. Loads of us have gone in with Chelsea. The fixtures look good. So if you have Jackson, Raheem, Chilwell or Gusto, you definitely play them. If you're not going to play them against Bournemouth, why do you own them? So you should get some joy from this game. Although I did say a minute ago, this won't be an easy fixture. Right? Bournemouth are not that bad. They've started the season pretty well, so they're going to test Chelsea. If you Bournemouth-wise, if you've got Solanke, he's had 2 goals and 1 assist. He started the season really well as well. If you do have him, I very much doubt it. If you do, start him. Chelsea don't look like a team that they're not going to let you score a goal. They don't look like that at all. In fact, they look a little bit soft. So if you got him, play him. Next fixture is Everton versus Arsenal. Everton have started the season not in great shape. 3 losses and 1 draw. Arsenal, on the other hand, have started really well. 3 wins and 1 draw. A stat that took me back is in the last 6 games, Everton have beaten Arsenal 4 times and lost twice. FPL asset-wise, the Arsenal players, play them. Attackers, don't think about it. You start them. Defensively, you might have Gabriel. I've still got him. I'm still not sure what to do there. I'd like to think he's going to start. I do think Arsenal look much more solid when he's in the defence with Saliba. So it's just a decision. If you've got a better, you might have a Udigi, for example. You might prefer him because of the attacking threat. I don't have him, so I might start Gabriel this weekend. As for Everton assets, you should not have any of their players, but more than likely, you've got that troll goalkeeper, Pickford. I have him. I don't have a better option. I could play Turner, but I'm not sure of his status, if he's going to start or not. So it might end up being Pickford. And the last fixture of game week 5 is Nottingham Forest versus Burnley. Nottingham Forest have started the season really well. 2 wins, 2 losses. Burnley, unfortunately, only played 3 games, lost all 3 games. They haven't played in the Premier League before, but the last game they played each other, Burnley beat them 1-0. Not much FPL interest for us here, but it's possible you own Turner. If you own him, you could still start him in this fixture. I know there's another keeper they've just bought in. I'm not sure if he goes in straight away as the number 1. So that's the risk there. But very unlikely goalkeepers get substituted. So you play him. If he doesn't play any minutes, you get your sub goalkeeper. If you own Gibbs, White or Awinui, 100% you play them. They've started the season really, really well. You just play them, yeah? And Burnley have been conceding really soft goals, so you got to play them. As for Burnley assets, I don't think we've got anyone's owns any Burnley assets. Well, not for now. Maybe when they pick up some forms and the fixtures improve. But for now, yeah, shouldn't have any of them. That's the Game Week 5 preview completed. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, do me a favor, like the video, also subscribe. If you have any questions, feedback, or any FPL questions, shove them in the comments. I will 100% reply back to you. Until the next video, I wish you good luck for Game Week 5. Bye-bye.